up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss. You are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, available wherever podcasts can be found. And of course, taped live at Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Tomorrow, we'll be live at 5 p.m. once again in the Impact Zone. That's right, Larson's making a repeat appearance, which means I guess I'll have to make a repeat appearance, and hopefully the Enforcer, Stevie Bradley, will make a repeat appearance as well, because Kenny Omega is going to be back, and as long as Kenny Omega is at Impact, at least for the foreseeable future, we probably will be too.
Should be covering it. Yeah, I suppose so.
Probably a good idea. Plus, it's fun. It's fun just to be able to not worry about it. Like, it's on, I leave, I come back, it's still on.
It's still there.
Don't worry, I'm not worried about it. I don't have to take notes or anything.
No, it's just for the fun of wrestling. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And
now,
then
the real question is, will Lenny Omega, as seen at AAA, show up? That's the real question.
He wasn't seen at AAA, merely in the advertisement for that match.
Well, in the graphic for the match, too,
yeah.
which played during the show, so that's what I meant.
Yeah.
In the graphic at AAA.
But we don't know who that person is that they took the picture of.
No idea.
I mean, it's like fake Undertaker situation. But fake Undertaker, primetime Brian Lee, looked more like Mark Calloway than this Lenny Omega cleanser situation. It's a very odd situation.
I don't know what the deal is with all that. It's very peculiar.
This is a bigger question. Spideyville has it right. The real question is, will Melissa Santos be on Impact for the ad breaks? Are they going to bring her back for that? We don't know. There's a lot of questions
to be seen. There's a lot of mysteries, a lot of things that we need to learn.
Is he still just going to be in his bus? Probably still.
I'd assume so. They probably shot all at
once, right?
In one chunk, yeah.
If he doesn't say anything of consequence this episode, I'd very much doubt that I'm going to come back for a third week. But we'll see. Anyways, I don't want to be Debbie Downer. No,
don't be Debbie Downer.
Also, are you going to be alone Christmas Eve? I am. So come join me for Christmas Eve. I'm going to watch Green Lantern the movie as my punishment for losing Survivor Series predictions. I'll be wearing a Green Lantern shirt. And if my ring gets here on time, a Green Lantern ring.
There you go.
I'm going to be using the Amazon Watch Party feature to watch Green Lantern on the Twitch at twitch.tv/Stephen Larson. Figure I'm not doing anything else on Christmas Eve, so why not just do it then? In case anybody out there might want something to do, maybe people can't make it to go visit their family, or they choose not to because of the current situation we're in right now. Hey, we can all suffer together by watching Green Lantern on Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Steve live on the Twitch.
There you go. What time again? Noon Pacific, 3 Eastern?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, so 8 p.m. UK time. Right.
There you go. That sounds good. Raw. Let's talk that. Did that sound good to you, Steve? Or my opinion was more or less the first hour was all right, even though the opening dirt sheet bit wasn't very good. The first hour at least felt like it had momentum. It felt like the energy was decent.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of got bogged down for a bit, save for the final Orton Bray bit. I like that.
Yeah.
The stuff at the end, I know they got to do the math about who's winning at TLC. Didn't really need to be done. This is their new thing, this Ascension ceremony where they put the belt up on that little doodad and
weird
and
music
raise it to the rafters.
Yeah.
Like halfway through somebody's promo. It doesn't really feel necessary. I guess the major development kind of in the middle of Raw was Lana picking up a W over Nia Jax. However, after the bout, the Nia and Shayna twisted her, stomped on her, beat the heck out of her, and now she has been written off for her scheduled tag team title bout at TLC. So they're still advertising the match, Asuka and mystery partner versus Shayna and Nia. There was a match between Dana and Shayna. Following that, the conclusion of that match, Mandy Rose came back to help make the save. Of course, her and Dana, prior to Mandy being written off, tag team. So, let us speculate who Asuka's partner may be.
This is probably going to be Dana Brooke. Because isn't Mandy Rose still, is she considered medically uncleared still, or is she medically clear? Wasn't she like medically she was written off for a second, wasn't she?
Yeah, because she hurt her shoulder.
Yeah, that's right. So she's, I mean, I don't know. Did they clarify tonight if she's back? Like, okay, it's probably going to be Dana Brooke. Although, yeah, that's kind of weird if they're a tag team.
I kind of feel like Mandy has, because it was Nia who injured her.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know.
But then is it weird that you're breaking up a tag team to go after different tag titles?
Yeah.
Let's rewind. I'm glad you brought up Lana in the first place. What the hell are they doing? Is this a matter of... This is me being cautiously optimistic. I'll be honest. I really enjoy the Lana stuff. I think that it's been really well built. I thought that when we saw Shayna and Nia annihilate Lana at the end, okay, you're paving the road. That's some really strong math right there. Yeah, Lana got the win, so you're clouding the math a little bit. But Shayna and Nia completely annihilate her. And then she comes in, has a big underdog win with Asuka with help from like the most dominant person in like company history besides Bruno. She has help from from Asuka rather, to get these tag titles. And they have a little run. Maybe you do Shayna Asuka at the Rumble. And then Asuka, probably Charlotte at WrestleMania. I don't know where you go from there. Yeah. But, you know, you don't need Nia. There's a lot of good tag teams, so you don't need Nia and Shayna to stay together because they're probably, I mean, as good as much as I've liked their tag team, they probably need to be singles wrestlers. So, yeah, but then they say she's been written out of TLC. Is the match then, I mean, Asuka's got to fight somebody at the Rumble unless they're going to do Asuka and Lana versus Shayna and Nia because they think that this needs a bigger stage. I don't know. I mean, I like the Lana stuff. Well, why the hell would they do this? They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to keep Lana. Like, what's the payoff for Lana here?
I see two potential options. I see your point about writing her off, so when she returns, it's a deal. It's a huge deal. Or that's the intent. It's a deal. And then from that point on, yeah, you know, maybe she'll get another tag title match, win them there. Or in WWE's eyes, she got her win over Nia. That's that. Write her off until they figure out what to do with her next. Like the pessimist in me thinks, okay, and to an extent, they've wrapped up the story in that Lana's been bullied by Shayna and Nia for months now. She was basically scared to step in the ring with Nia. She did. Not only did she overcome her fears, she proved victorious. Yeah, she got beat down, but in terms of the story of Lana versus Nia, Lana got a dub. You know, again, this is the pessimist to me as it relates to WWE. That's it. Lana got her W, and they can move on.
Yeah,
because
but
that kind of stuff's happened before, where they decide the middle of the story is the end of the story, and that's that.
Yeah, but why then write her off instead of giving her a solid loss at, you know, I mean, I don't doubt that you could completely be right. I mean, it's not like we're not dealing with Shakespeare here. No. They do weird things. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought that the beatdown was really, really well. Like, she sold it like a champ. It was disturbing almost the way she was like sobbing over when they were doing this stuff to her.
Yeah.
It was,
and there was one point
disturbing.
where Shayna grabbed one of her legs, and I don't think I've ever seen a human bend that way.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. So I don't know. It's compelling stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going to go next. I just don't know, like if they're going to have plans for it.
I mean, I want to be optimistic. They have plans for something for Lana that would launch her up a level, you know, because that should be the point of all this. But then again, there's been times where I was hopeful that was the case and it didn't happen. So I just don't know. I don't know. I guess we might get a short-term answer based on who teams with Asuka. Now that Mandy's back, do they want to put Mandy in that picture and put her to the storyline? Do her and Asuka win those tag titles on Sunday? Then when Lana comes back, and then how does that all work? I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta believe that. Like, I don't think that if anybody was going to win the tag titles, it would have been Lana. I'm not right now.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm not thinking Asuka's going to come away with these tag titles.
Here's another thing.
Yeah,
I have a hard time believing Asuka. So regardless who Asuka picks as her partner, I have a hard time believing if Asuka's team is going to lose that she's going to be eating any pins.
Right.
Agreed?
Yeah. Agree. Yeah.
And I don't know if Mandy coming back, if she's going to be eating any pins either.
Nope.
So it lends credence to the idea that Dana Brooke might be Asuka's tag team partner.
You know, I kind of dig that they booked Dana Brooke relatively strong these days. They're actually, she deserves it, man. She obviously has been working.
She's been working a ton. I agree 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
That being said, they're not afraid to have her eat a loss.
Mm-hmm. Lana's been doing just absolutely great work, though. Like, Lana's been doing just fantastic work. I really enjoyed their short match. I thought that it was a really solid, logically booked finish to that match. I really like that stuff tonight. Let's just go ahead and hop right into it from there, and maybe we'll take a look at chat here. Maybe, hey, leave us some comments. Sometimes our friendos can break some good ideas in our comments, and it'll be like, oh, whoa, and then it'll actually end up happening. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below.
Yes, please.
It kicked off with the dirt sheet, which is different from Ms. TV in that I guess it's not a talk show, but I thought it was.
I guess
never know.
The one upside to this is that they did it first and got out of the way, so it didn't absolutely kill the momentum of the middle of the show.
It kind of didn't overstay its welcome. And because it was like maybe 10 minutes before the actual match. Yeah.
It was about 8 minutes.
AJ and Sheamus had a match afterwards, which was a killer match.
Yeah, it was good.
And this, I'll be honest, it wasn't that. I thought AJ was okay. I thought AJ was good in it. This didn't bug me. When it's just them sitting there and they have a guest and they don't stop talking, that's when I find it really just off-putting, and it kills an entire Raw for me. This I didn't think was that bad. They've got Miz with a spotlight on him, and he's got a book, The Nightmare Before TLC, and it was written by AJ Styles. Very nice mock-up of this book that they had here. And they have it's sort of staged like a play where I didn't see this coming. Did you see AJ lurking off to? I didn't see this coming. I thought it was great. Yeah. So I don't know. Did you write down in your copious notes? Did you write down the entire fairy tale?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know because it was
a story of the WWE title match at TLC. So he snaps his fingers and AJ's there, and AJ goes, well, it's not just me. It's my associate, Omos. He snaps his fingers and Omos shows up. They get a spotlight on him ringside.
I thought that was clever. I thought that was pretty funny.
And Miz says, no, I'm making the edit, snaps his finger, light comes down.
Yeah.
And then he does the same thing when he mentions Drew's name, but it's John Morrison, like Braveheart gear. And so then Morrison and AJ kind of pantomime the TLC match, and there's a sword involved, and AJ stabs Morrison with the sword. This next bit was kind of confusing. So Miz says that if AJ doesn't get the job done, doesn't beat Drew, then he's going to cash in. But then he mentions pinning AJ to become WWE champion. Did you notice that? I watched it twice because at first I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah. Now that you mention it, I kind of remember that.
And then AJ gets mad and says, well, I wasn't the copy of the book I gave you. And Miz says something like, dude, no one waits till after the credits or something like that.
Given how confused Miz was when AJ was trying to help him cash in, a week or two ago. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is just sort of silly. But yeah, that didn't really make a whole lot of sense. So anyways, and like you said, Miz mentions, cashing in, and AJ's like, wait a second, I didn't write that part. You just made that up. And he's like, yeah. So anyways, long story short, Sheamus interrupts all that, and Miz and Morrison run off. Sheamus gets in the ring, and he's sort of backing AJ down. He's like, whoa, we don't have to have this match right now. Like, we can have it later on in the night. He sort of goes behind a Christmas tree, throws the Christmas tree at Sheamus, gets out of the ring. Sheamus throws one of those giant present boxes, box at AJ. And so we do, in fact, have the match right now, AJ Styles versus Sheamus. Once again, man, Sheamus is putting on a wrestling clinic these days, just putting on these bangers. He's had some really great opponents, but, man, I'm really enjoying Sheamus's in-ring work these days.
Yeah, he's been doing good work of late. He's, he's got to be pushing 40, you'd think. He's had a bit of a career renaissance.
Yeah,
both from a character standpoint. His character work's been really strong. Wrestling these pretty fun matches. Story of this one was AJ early and often going after Sheamus's knee. Sheamus trying to power through the compromised knee, but in the end, he goes up. Sheamus goes after getting out of a calf crusher and a Styles Clash. He gets an air raid crash. That gets a 2. He puts AJ on his shoulders, goes up to the second rope looking for like a super air raid crash. Instead, AJ escapes, chop blocks him. Sheamus falls from the second rope. AJ rolls him up to get the win. After the bell, AJ's talking trash. Sheamus starts to go after him and then almost traps Sheamus in the rope, so his feet are wrapped up in the ropes. And then
dangling
AJ
upside down.
Yeah. So AJ kicks him a bunch, almost brings AJ a chair, and AJ pretty much obliterates Sheamus's midsection and his leg with the chair.
It was, again, there was this, there was the Lana one, and even the Drew one at the end. Pretty violent, really kind of disturbing beatdowns like this one, and especially the Lana one, because he would not stop, and eventually he sort of stops. John Cone gets in the way, and he's like, "Hey, get back there!" AJ just picks the chair back up and goes right back to town. It was a pretty brutal beatdown, man. I thought it was pretty great. Maybe this will be motivation for Sheamus being upset that Drew didn't come out and help him. I don't know, but this was pretty violent. Feels like they're writing Sheamus off. This was the level of a beatdown that you would get a write-off with. Who knows if they're actually going to write him off or not? I haven't checked Twitter to see if there's an injury.
This is somewhat off topic, but since Sheamus is involved, it came to mind. So during the show, commentary mentioned, maybe it was even during this match, that Drew and Sheamus would not be suspended for powerbombing Pat Buck through the catering table. And the rationale was WWE officials ascertained that Pat Buck shouldn't have gotten himself involved in the first place.
Yeah.
How often does a fight break out backstage and everybody comes to try to break it up? That's just a normal order of business.
Yeah. Maybe
just the rationale for no suspension seems a bit flimsy.
I'll just throw this out there. Because their rule book is literally a sketch pad that looks like it's just inundated by a madman's doodles. Maybe there is a proper protocol for breaking up backstage brawls, and Pat Buck, instead of calling for security or multiple referees, decided to try to do it himself, and that protocol was broken at that moment. Maybe that's the difference. But again, without a proper rule book, we will never know.
Yes, and if that's the nature of it, at least go more into it than he shouldn't have been involved in the first place. Because basically every time there's a fight backstage, there's at least 1 or 2 producers who show up to try to break it up.
Maybe they bought him a pint and was like, "Hey, fella, come on, be cool." And he decided
not.
Right.
He essentially decided not to press charges
in the WWE HR charges in WWE.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Raycon. Hey, Larson. After everything that's happened in 2020, I really want to get everyone on my holiday shopping list something that will actually make them say, "Hey, wow, this is great. Steve is awesome. It's something I can actually use. Thanks, Steve." So this year, I'm going to go with Raycon wireless earbuds.
Hey, Steve, that's a great call, because my Raycon wireless earbuds have been my go-to wireless earbuds, whether I'm working out, recording a podcast like I am now, or listening to the newest, freshest jams. They've paired seamlessly with my phone and my laptop, have a comfortable noise-isolating fit, and the sound quality is top-notch. And they start at half the price of other premium brands.
That's right. So if you're looking for a gift that can be used for calls or music, for work or play, at home or on the go, then give the gift of Raycon. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And if they already got a pair of wireless earbuds, heck, get them another. Everyone could use an extra pair.
Like me, I got 2 right here. I got 2 pairs.
Why, you got 2?
And right now, Raycon's being generous for the holidays, so on top of their everyday great prices, they're offering Going Into Raw listeners 15% off right now. Go to buyraycon.com/raw today to get 15% off your Raycon order.
That's buyraycon.com/raw. Buyraycon.com/raw. I was about to go do my wind sprints outside. I can't find mine. Did you take one of my pairs?
No.
Since when do you have 2? Well, I wrote Steve on mine. Does that say Steve on it?
No.
It's turn around. I know it does. It's
No.
the same side. I think you took my Raycons. Anyways.
After that, we had Hurt Business backstage. They're walking around. They come across some dude wearing a Riddle hat. He's eating a bronut.
Yeah, man.
Hurt Business give him crap for wearing the Riddle hat. Start pushing him around a little bit. Lashley's like, hey, you know what goes well with donuts? A little milk. And then he proceeds to pour an entire carton of
it's just a waste of good milk.
On the dude.
It's a waste of good milk right
least.
there. Yeah.
Apparently the bronuts are organic, made at home.
They didn't really look like that, though.
No, they look like
I'm gonna
pretty
get
much
some
standard
donuts
cake donuts.
That makes me want some donuts. I'm going to get some donuts this Sunday.
There you go. You going to get cake donuts, or you can get Entenmann's, or you can go to a donut shop?
Entenmann's? Man, I haven't gotten Entenmann's. No, I got the donut spot right nearby.
Okay. No, that's a good donut shop there. I didn't know that. You like your chocolate on chocolate Entenmann's.
I haven't had that in literally years. I don't know if I've even seen them at the store, because for a while I couldn't even find them.
Yeah, Entenmann's used to have really good cinnamon rolls. Can't find them anymore.
Really? Have you seen
the
that?
Rolls are really good.
Have you seen that Pizza Hut triple treat thing?
No.
They show commercials during Raw. You're probably just not paying attention to the commercial.
I tend not to. No.
It's like a building of pizza. It's like a cardboard shelf with 3 pull-out trays.
Okay,
you get one pizza, 2 pizzas, and then the bottom is like a bunch of cinnamon rolls.
Oh wow.
It looks amazing. And I was like, dude,
Really?
next time, because I know that, you're a Pizza Hut guy going back. Like, I know.
Well, that's what we went to as a kid. I can't really stand it now, but yeah, I know what you mean.
I thought you still appreciated the taste of Pizza Hut.
No, I haven't had Pizza Hut in forever.
Okay. I was going to say, next time, like in July, when we get together for a pay-per-view, maybe we can get a triple
Order some
treat.
Pizza Hut. All right, we can do that. We can do that.
Or we'll just have the kids
Y'all get
together.
vaccinated and stuff?
Next weekend, we'll get vaccinated. We'll get the kids together to play, and we'll get a triple treat.
Might have to wait a little bit later next weekend.
All right.
Don't think we're in the top of the list for that. So anyways.
No, I am not.
No, we're not.
It's funny because everybody, like Marissa, she works obviously at a nursing home, and so she's going to be top of the list. Lacey's probably going to be like middle of the pack. Yeah. I go nowhere. I am healthy. I am not anywhere close to getting a vaccine.
Summer at the
Summer at best.
Yep. Same here. So anyway, Sarah rolls in for an interview. She's like, nope, I don't want to do this. Cedric says,
nope.
No, come back in. And so she asks MVP about his match with Riddle. He puts over Riddle, says he's talented, but no MVP is going to teach him a lesson of respect. But he says, you should ask about Cedric, Shelton, Bob Lashley. And they're going to send the New Day and the TLC limping and Jeff Hardy back to whatever freak show he belongs to.
Yeah.
After that, we get the New Day and Jeff Hardy backstage. Riddle walks up to them. He wants to run an idea by them. And Xavier Woods is like, no, we're not going to do, what was it? Another
Riddle me this on G4.
Quiz show on G4. Thank you. And he goes, no, I know you all miss Big E. So what if I'll be Bro E. I'll join you ringside for your match. They all seem cool with it. Mm-hmm. He goes out there ringside for their bout. Next bout, New Day, Jeff Hardy taking on Hurt Business.
Yeah, really, really fun match. I was hoping we'd get this, and we did. A Cedric Alexander celebration. So Hardy gets Jeff Hardy towards the finish of the match, gets pulled off the top by Cedric, allows Lashley to get the hurt lock on, and Hardy taps out. And Cedric does another one of his very exuberant celebrations. They're trying to calm him down a little bit. It's so great. Good. I love that he's becoming their loose cannon. I think that's absolutely terrific. I want to see that continue. After that, backstage, Asuka's pumping up Lana, says, I'm really proud to be your partner. You just need to believe in yourself. You're going to go out there and beat Nia Jax. Man, if I could have anybody in my life next to me, pumping me up for the next thing that I'm about to do, it's got to be Asuka. It comes off as so genuine. So then we had Nia Jax versus Lana. And, like you said, Lana picked up a win here. So Nia was trying to get her, number one, like Lana was able to counter. Nia Jax sort of picked her up. Lana countered it with a Rana to the corner. They go up to the corner, and Nia's got Lana up on her shoulders. Lana gets down
for a Samoa drop off there. Yeah.
kicks her off the top, and then rolls her up, kicks her knee, rolls her up for 3. It was like I said, a very logical finish. Lana was, I thought, performing this role very well as somebody who is tentative, but sees the opportunity and goes after it. After all this time, like it's built to this moment. And I thought that it was a really good little moment for her. So she gets the win there. Yeah. Right afterwards, though, we see Shayna having attacked Asuka backstage. Nia attacks Lana. Shayna shows up. They both attack Lana, and it's absolutely brutal. Shayna stomps her elbow and then just absolutely wrecks her leg. Just completely destroys it.
It was some of the way she was contorting Lana's legs were it seemed like too much. Like, how is she not getting hurt?
It was nasty. So Asuka comes in, makes a save, gets a code breaker to Nia, hip attack to Shayna, clears them out, runs them off.
All right, you want to talk about this for a while, I know. So Elias comes out for a promo. He introduces Jackson Ryker.
Yeah.
He calls back to being electrocuted 2 weeks ago. Said that, the doctor told him that level of voltage would have ended an ordinary man, but he says he is no ordinary man. At that moment, he was baptized in lightning. He had visions of his purpose, visions of Ryker. Ryker knows universal truth. Ryker speaks. He says he has been reborn through Elias's music, calls him a visionary, says for too long he's been interrupted, disrespected, and attacked, and he's there to stop that. So then Elias dedicates, based on what we just saw, this next performance to Lana. He strums a few chords. R-Truth runs in. He's like, I don't want to interrupt you. I just want to apologize for interrupting you last week on Main Event. Cool, they mentioned Main Event on Raw.
Yeah, that is cool.
And so Elias, again, tries to go back to doing his song. 24 division hits the ringside area. All hell breaks loose. During the course of it, Ryker drops Grand Metalik and then does a press slam of Tozawa out of the ring. And then I had to step out for a second. What else happened here?
No, that was it. That was
it. Okay.
Yeah, that was
All
the extent of it. Yeah, so Jackson Ryker's back as a born again Elias worshiper.
Yeah.
So there you go. Ryker's back. Anyways, after that, I mean, he did more in this segment than he did ever with the Forgotten Sons.
I think he spoke more words.
He did.
Tonight than he did in his entire, 2 and 3 years he's been in WWE.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I know. I see people in chat calling it out. He lays out Grand Metalik and Akira Tozawa, throws him. Mm-hmm. You can sort of process where we're going here. It's not a good look, but that's kind of just WWE's thing, is being a tad tone deaf. So yeah, less talk about that, the better. After that, Miz and Morrison are backstage. They talk about cashing in on Drew. Keith Lee comes up. He's got a coin. He says, I have a coin. You guys call heads or tails. And Morrison calls heads. It's heads. He says, congratulations, you guys both won, but that's the only thing you're going to win. And then the little lower thing says, handicap match next, Keith Lee versus Miz and Morrison. Let me ask you, what was the point of this match? If Keith Lee wasn't supposed to win it, what's the point of it?
I think the point is to make Miz and Morrison look less bumbling.
Did they? When I was watching this, commentary pointed out that this match kicked off with both Miz and Morrison attacking Keith Lee in a handicap match. It's supposed to be the handicap.
Tagging it out. Yes.
You're tagging it out. Did they ever do that in this match? Because I was sort of paying. No. They did. No. They never actually did that in this match at all.
No.
That's a little on the weird side.
Yeah. Why didn't the ref try to control that? Because I don't recall them announcing the match was going to be
like a tornado.
2-on-1.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
A tornado. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I just
the only thing I think of is they want to make Miz and Morrison look less bumbling, and so they come in and they beat Keith Lee.
Like the visual of, I get it. Sometimes WWE does stuff just for the visual, so we can get in our head that these guys can do something. In this case, Miz and Morrison are perfectly capable of pinning a large man. Drew McIntyre is a large man.
Yeah. Sort of like I feel like one of the reasons they had AJ Styles face Sheamus beyond the idea that Sheamus and Drew are close. That Sheamus is, again, a large man.
Sheamus is a proxy for Drew. Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They do that kind of stuff all the time.
All the time.
Totally. 100%.
Totally normal. There was some cool stuff here. Keith Lee looked great. Pounced Morrison out of the ring for a commercial cliffhanger. He was basically swatting flies. They both have to stack up on Lee to get the pin after like a chop block thing. But like, I don't know what I guess that's the point of the match. I guess
that's the other thing too, is I kind of felt like what it took to pin Lee shouldn't have been enough to pin him. Like, I know as a flurry of strikes, that's something he faced.
You were expecting him to push them both off.
Well, something like, they do that, hit a chop block, skull crushing finale, a shining wizard, Starship Pain, then they both cover him.
Right.
Like, they need to throw everything they have at him. You know?
I just don't even understand, what was the motivation backstage kayfabe for Lee to do this? It's just because he's like, the point is he's got Drew's back and he's taking these guys out or something. I don't know. The whole thing is weird. Maybe as in kayfabe it is out of kayfabe. Well, what else is he going to do? They simply have nothing for him. So they do that overwritten stuff where he's got a coin, and that was nonsensical. I don't know. And this isn't even me being like a Keith Lee fan. Oh, why don't they book him to win? I don't mind him losing here. He's fighting two men. He's fighting two guys.
Part of the problem is two men up to this point had been portrayed by and large as clowns for the better part of a year.
Drew has beaten both these guys in handicap matches, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Ritual. Hey, Larson.
Yeah?
Do you really know what's in your typical multivitamin?
Can't say that I do, no.
Yeah,
no.
Well, I'm going to tell you what's in them. Sugar, GMO stuff, synthetic fillers, artificial colorants, and a bunch of animal byproducts. Yeah, but Ritual isn't your typical multivitamin. Their clean, vegan-friendly formulas made with key nutrients in forms that your body can actually use without all that shady extra stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that shady extra stuff. I like to know what I'm putting in my body, and that's why Ritual is great for me. Ritual has a one-of-a-kind visible supply chain, so you always know where your nutrients are coming from.
And Ritual makes it easy because your multivitamins are delivered directly to your door every month with free shipping. And you can start, snooze, or cancel your subscription at any time. Plus, if you don't love Ritual within your first month, they'll refund your order.
You deserve to know what's in your multivitamin. That's why Ritual is offering Going In Raw listeners 10% off during your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/raw to start your Ritual today.
Again, get 10% off your first 3 months by going to ritual.com/raw. Anyways, after that, this is good stuff. Bray Wyatt took his field trip to the to the Thunderdome, rather. He comes out, he apologizes to Randy Orton.
He pretty much just came to the ring and dropped a promo. That's what it was.
That's exactly what it was. But his puppets were there as well. They were sitting ringside.
You could call it a field trip. He just did a promo from the ring.
Well, you can call what happened in the end. That was a promo too, but they called it an Ascension Ceremony.
Yeah, I know.
But I guess the title did ascend, so whatever. Anyways.
I guess it's something a little bit different than a contract signing, huh?
Yeah. So he said, this is all a big misunderstanding. Sometimes the Fiend has a sad, terrifying, whatever mind of his own. This Sunday after you take on him, I don't know what's going to be left of you. There's going to be no games played at TLC, just sadness and pain. So I'm going to celebrate. I wrote some jokes. He tells 2 pretty bad jokes. Randy interrupts him on the Tron, says, you know what? After I put you down, you changed. And he appeared. For the first time in a long time last week, I was outmaneuvered by him. How about we play a game, though, Bray? Let's play hide and seek. Come find me. And Bray gets all happy about that. So the chase is afoot.
The game is afoot.
Before that, we had Mace versus Ricochet.
Yeah, before the match, Ali had he had an Instagram promo. He's more or less said Mace is going to remind them that they made us. Mace adds that Ricochet used to step over him or had stepped over him. Now Mace is going to step on him. Ali was on commentary throughout this brief match. Ricochet has the upper hand. Ali calls on Slapjack to interfere. Ricochet fends him off. He calls on Dijak T-Bar to interfere. Ricochet fends him off. Ricochet turns around. He eats a chokeslam bomb from Mace. He kicks out. At that moment, I was like, "Oh gosh, Mace is losing this, isn't he?"
Yeah, I felt the same, yeah.
Ali tells Mace to shut him down, and then Mace hits what I would assume would be his finish to get the win.
Put you down.
Afterwards, Retribution hits the ring. Ali gets up in Ricochet's face and says, "This doesn't end till I say it ends, and it'll end when you join Retribution."
Good win for Retribution there. Much needed.
Yeah, they desperately needed.
Yeah.
This next bit. Okay, so Bray is walking backstage looking for Randy. He walks up to Matt Riddle. And so, of course, he says, "Hey, do you know where Randy Orton is?" And Riddle's like, "No, I don't know, but I've seen the future, and it's bronouns." So he has a whiteboard with a Venn diagram on it. And he pitches the idea of bronouns to Bray. And then Bray's like, "All right, well, good luck with that." And so after Bray leaves, behind Matt Riddle, Rambling Rabbit pops up, which I believe just had Bray's voice.
Yeah, they didn't do the thing to it.
They didn't pitch it up, no.
Yeah.
Which live might be hard.
Could be, yeah.
So it has like one line. And then Matt Riddle says essentially, "Oh, you remind me of Baby Yoda. I'm going to call you Baby Broda." He says, "Hey, I have a rabbit named Skipper at home. Will you sign this carrot for him?" Do you feel like opponents are going too far with this Riddle stoner stuff?
Yeah, but I think I felt that way a little while ago.
All right.
Yeah. Look, he's getting a lot of time on the show. There was a lot of Matt Riddle on the show. So, I mean, whatever it is, Vince seems to like it.
This probably makes Vince laugh to no end.
It probably does. Which is good things for Matt Riddle. And to be honest with you, the guy puts on, better matches than 90% of the people there.
Yeah, so, he's a really good wrestler.
Yeah, he's a really terrific wrestler. So after that, we had Shayna Baszler versus Dana Brooke. To start, Shayna doesn't break a sweat dismantling Dana, but Dana is like one of the first people. I know other people have done it, but she actually moves her arm out of the way to avoid the elbow stomp thing, and then she's able to come back. Eventually Nia attacks, so it's a DQ finish. And then Mandy Rose comes back with a kendo stick to attack Nia and Shayna. And then Asuka comes in and helps out, faces stand tall.
Yeah, it was as this match began, they mentioned that Lana would take into a hospital, injuries to her leg and elbow. She's out for TLC.
So she's out at TLC.
But they said the match is still happening.
Yeah.
The tag title match.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Because before Mandy came out, I was like, oh, maybe someone from NXT is going to come up and fill in.
Because the thing
maybe
is, Lana's...
Rhea Ripley will fill in, or Io Shirai. Or...
Asuka's going to have... She's going to have a match at the Rumble for the title. Like, they can't not do that, right?
You would think so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I wonder if they...
She hasn't had a Raw Women's title defense. It feels like it forever.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get on Twitter and see if anybody has any info.
Okay.
After that, I don't know what's going on with this.
R-Truth is backstage. He's talking to somebody about a PS6. It's Huskus. Bray walks up, and he's like, "Oh, there you are, Huskus. I've been worried sick." And Truth thinks Huskus is Bray's son. We go to commercial. We come back. It's more Bray backstage. He walks past the doorway, sees that there's a rocking chair rocking by itself in it. Looks like his old rocking chair when he first debuted on main roster. So Bray enters. He approaches, takes a seat. Orton creeps up from behind, attacks him, beats him up a bunch, tosses him into a road case, garage door, and then puts Bray inside the road case, boots him a few times, closes the case. There is some gasoline in a little container, pours that on the case, produces a lighter, lights the case on fire. And so he's there watching the case burn. The Fiend springs forth out of the case, puts Randy in the mandible claw, rams him into the garage door a few times. This is a really cool segment. Harkens back to Randy burning down the compound. At that time, that was Randy thinking he had the upper hand on Bray. Turns out he kind of did.
Yeah.
Tries to repeat that here, only to get laid out by the Fiend.
Yeah.
He thinks he's got a leg up on the Fiend. Obviously not. I kind of like it. Kind of closes that aspect of their story, where he thinks, oh, it worked once, it'll work again. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this too. I thought the only thing that could have maybe been better was the camera.
Randy posing by the burning road case.
Well, yeah, when the angle, the camera angle, when Bray emerges from the Fiend emerges from the fire from the crate. If they had gone with Randy in the foreground and the fire in the background, and maybe Randy turns around and then you see the Fiend emerge from it, that could have been a bit more dramatic, but I'm nitpicking. I thought this was a really cool thing.
I wonder if there was some sort of safety protocol or something they had to do to keep
that could be
Bray from being set on fire.
That could totally.
Who knows? Anyways, after that we had a MVP versus Matt Riddle. Speaking of short matches, this was very short.
Yes, yeah.
Was this over 2 minutes? I don't think so.
Probably not. No, whenever I think something goes 2 minutes, it goes like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it felt very short. So anyways, Riddle hits MVP with the running knee. Floating bro gets the win. Afterwards, Lashley hits the ring. Riddle escapes, grabs his bro nuts, takes his leave.
This is a good question here. Alt Zero Star says, what's the math on Bray versus Randy? Bray the Fiend he defies the math, I feel like.
Does.
I mean, it's a good question because, like, wait a second. Randy Orton gets destroyed here. Is he also going to get beat by Bray or by the Fiend?
I think as a story beat where Randy thinks, oh, I know how Bray operates. I know what I can do to defeat him. He has to go into this match now with every assumption that he has about Bray cast asunder. He doesn't know what he's really getting into at this point,
Yeah.
So this is Randy having to walk into this match outmaneuvered twice.
Mm-hmm.
And probably quite afraid.
It is fascinating though, the idea of the heel face thing, because there just isn't one. It's just two guys with a history, and I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. Totally better that way.
Yeah.
And then we get the Ascension Ceremony, where Tom Phillips says, we're going to raise the belt up before anybody talks, and that's not what happened. Everybody talked before Drew even took that belt off.
They talked a lot too. Yeah.
They talked a ton.
Yeah.
So AJ spoke first, mentions that they haven't faced each other ever in a match. AJ says, I did my research into you. Surprised it took Drew 19 years to win the champion, because look at you. You're tall, you're jacked, you're super athletic. And he says the reason why is that he cracks under the pressure, can't handle it. But when you got that title back, you change, you're taking too many risks. Questions why he would volunteer for a TLC match. We've never been in one. Meanwhile, AJ has. He successfully defended the title in a TLC match. He knows what it takes to be champion.
Mm-hmm.
So Drew counters with the facts as he sees them. He said, this is a match I've always wanted. He's never been in a TLC match. That's true. Earlier on, he thought his goal was to become WWE champion, but after losing it and then winning it back, he realized it's about remaining champ. It's harder to hold on to it after you won it than probably to win it. And so he asked a rhetorical question, who is Drew? I'm going to tell you, AJ, I'm the champ that led WWE through uncharted waters in 2020, who doesn't crack under pressure. And that journey, that 19-year journey you talked about, AJ, is what made me this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tear you apart this Sunday. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to remain champ. And wonders if AJ is willing to do the same. So Drew takes off the belt, puts it on the little thing. AJ says, well, what if it's not just him he has to face at TLC? Miz and Morrison attack him from behind with a ladder. They start beating him down to corner. Drew fights back, tosses AJ from the ring, hits Claymores on Miz, another one of Morrison. Morrison's holding the ladder. Headbutts AJ, tosses the ladder out. He's setting up for a Claymore, and then almost just chucks the ring steps in.
Mm-hmm.
Distracts Drew. AJ chop blocks him. Phenomenal forearm. Rams him with the ladder. Beats him up with a chair. Jams the chair in the corner, tosses Drew into it, almost brings a table into the ring. AJ brings another ladder, puts Drew on the table, climbs the ladder, elbow drop, climbs back up, gets the WWE title, holds it up as the show goes off air.
Yeah,
Here the math holds. AJ is not winning this match at all.
Yeah, you can't be touching the title like that. You're going to lose. And then, he beat the crap out of Drew as well. So, yeah, let's open it up to some questions and see what people have to say.
Sounds good. Broken Wheelchair. How many belts will Omega end up with, and will he wear them all at once on his way to the ring? Yeah, he should. He should just.
Yeah, he needs to do a picture like Ultimo Dragon.
Mm-hmm. But then when it comes to the ring, he has to wear them all. Remember, like Zack Sabre Jr. had the 3 belts, and he wore one on top of the other on top of the other. He's got to do that with all the belts he gets.
James Rodriguez, Power Rank 5 superstars that kill your mood immediately when you hear their theme to kick off an episode of Raw or SmackDown. The answer is The Miz.
Miz and Baron Corbin.
Miz and Baron Corbin are definitely the answers.
A lot of people are suggesting Charlotte could end up being Asuka's partner.
It's a possibility. Let's see here. David Matushek, do you ever think a wrestling movie would ever join the likes of The Dark Knight, The Blues Brothers, Shrek, and Grease in the National Film Registry? Which wrestling film would it be?
Wrestler.
The Wrestler is a great movie.
Darren Aronofsky is The Wrestler.
Let's take that one out of it because it's a solid flick. Vern Gagne is The Wrestler.
Yeah, maybe.
No Holds Barred. Probably not.
Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble. That's in.
Gaming with Cage. Am I the only one that noticed Rambling Reb? Oh, we talked about this, not having the chipmunk effect on his voice. Sound like Cookie Monster, and I lost it. Pretty sure that was just Bray.
Good question. Moses supposes, who in WWE do you choose as Spider-Man and Captain America versus Thanos and Venom when Disney inevitably buys WWE's? Well, Roman's got to be Thanos.
Yeah.
Venom should be Bray.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man, probably Ricochet.
Perfect.
And then Captain America, John Cena.
John Cena's not active anymore. Who's the new John Cena?
Oh, sorry. John Morrison.
The United States champion, Bob Lashley.
Good. Great answer. Speaking of Lashley, Gareth Nicholas says, will Lashley make the backstage guy pay for his dry cleaning half of the milk went all over his suit?
Yeah, absolutely. Wayne Scoggins. By the way, Wayne, I owe you a response. He DM'd us, and I have to get back to him about Patreon stuff. He says, what jobbers from the Attitude Era do you think would thrive on Raw in today's environment? Well, I mean, the main players, like, Foley is timeless, Rock is timeless, Austin is timeless, Triple H is still relevant.
Well, he said jobbers, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, jobbers. Oh, wow, okay. Well, first off, name some jobbers from the Attitude Era.
I don't know if you consider like Taka Michinoku a jobber.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
but I think he's
a good one.
If he were wrestling today,
mm-hmm.
For a while, comedy act pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't necessarily think that would be the case now. I mean, if you look at his career now, he's a pretty influential wrestler.
He's a very influential wrestler. He still wrestles, though, doesn't he? Like in Japan. But here's the thing. This is the problem. He might be these days in the 24/7 scene. I could see that as a possibility, or he could be doing something really good. I don't know.
He could be doing really awesome stuff in NXT.
That's true too. Yeah, he could be like in a Kushida role. Yeah.
Night by night, which Raw superstar would you most like to take to your local donut shop, and what kind of donut would you recommend to them? So I guess at the end of the day, it's about getting a couple donuts, a couple cups of coffee, sit down, having conversation.
All right, let's take the New Day out of it because you always say Big E, and that's a good answer. But let's just take that out of it.
Like if I knew the donuts were vegan, I'd say Daniel Bryan.
I'm gonna go with MVP.
Oh, that's a good answer.
That guy probably has a ton of stories.
That's a good answer. That's a great answer. Dang MQ, would it be a surprise if Asuka's partner is Charlotte? A lot of people think it could be.
That'd be pretty awesome. I'd love to see Charlotte back. That'd be cool. Okay, if it's Charlotte, I mean, this has got to be, man, this is going to be a tricky one for predictions. If it's Charlotte, they're winning. Clearly, they're winning.
Either they're winning or they're using this match to set up the feud between Asuka and Charlotte.
Yeah, but Charlotte is such a big fan geek out moment. I know fans aren't there, but for the audience, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be. I don't see how it's going to be Charlotte. It's got to be Dana Brooke. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Fear and Loathing. So Bray is like Mumra from Thundercats. He just transforms into the Fiend. Apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he has all sorts of supernatural powers.
Yeah. Ultimate Coder. Chances Miz cashes in during the TLC match. Climbs to grab the belt. It's a possibility.
The odds.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, if we're being honest about it, that's his best chance is wait till the match happens, wait till he be, beat up. Mm-hmm. Then he can just, there's a nasty spot on the floor, run down, cash in, climb the ladder, doesn't pin anybody.
Boom, you're done.
Yeah. If he plays his cards right, that's the right way to do it.
Alex Foster, how would you guys inevitably piss off the Hurt Business backstage? Just my general presence would annoy them. They would. I wouldn't even be close to them. They just look at me and be like, "God, that guy. Look at his. That's a punchable face."
Yeah, same here.
They'd probably go and do that. They just come and punch me. I'd say, "Hey, you guys into fantasy football?" And then Cedric would be like, "Yeah."
You guys see my new comic?
Yeah, right. Do you guys like donuts?
Gaming with Cage. What moves scare you the most to see? Gaming with Cage says the overhead belly to belly and top rope Spanish fly are hard to watch for me.
Dude, what's his name? The guy called Clark, but he's actually Christian. Blake Christian? Blake? Yeah. Blake Christian?
Yeah, Blake. Yeah, you got that right.
Dude, he did what I think was supposed to be a Spanish fly off the top with, I think it was Ray Horse. And he ended up landing on like the side of his head.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was like one of the first times in recent history that I saw a Spanish fly go off that poorly. It looked ugly.
Yeah,
I think
Spanish flies kind of feels like there's a pretty small margin for error. Suicide dives too.
Yeah, same. Gregory Faela, what happened to them releasing Jackson Ryker? So I think Meltzer said that they were going to release him, but that didn't happen. Plans change.
Yep. Ryan Supernova, who could AJ have been paying tribute to when he did his elbow drop? I thought he might do a 450 off there or something.
Bailey. Dan Barber, am I the only one that thinks that Sheamus should go on a big face run before he inevitably turns on Drew? Yeah. See how far you can take him as a face. Because if he keeps on putting on these great matches, if fans were around, they'd be cheering Sheamus, man. I think.
Yeah, I think so. Jorge D.
Remember we watched that God, we did that. Was it Money in the Bank? Which one did we watch where like people were going apeshit over Sheamus? It was like 2010 or so.
Well, if it was 2010, if we weren't watching it live.
No. We watched. It was like a going in raw view relatively recently. We were like, whoa, they were really cheering Sheamus.
Yeah, I don't remember. Jorge D. Which WWE wrestler will end up being Santa Claus this year for the Christmas episode? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's on Friday. It's gonna be Otis.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Rocco, Christmas Carol, but with wrestlers. Who's who? I know you don't really like these casting questions, but this is good. Vince is Scrooge.
Yeah. I just don't like. I'm not that familiar.
So you need Jacob Marley. You need his old business partner.
I like
Gerald Briscoe.
Love that you know his name. Yeah, Gerald Briscoe would be great.
Gerald Briscoe. We need the three ghosts.
Okay.
Past, present,
what
future.
What was like the general incarnation of the Ghost of Christmas Past? Was it that the lady? Wasn't there one of them a lady?
I don't recall that.
Or is that like an old man?
I'm honestly more familiar with well, you're thinking of Scrooged, then yes. It was
Well, weren't they all similar though?
In the Mickey version of Christmas Carol, I don't believe.
I don't even know which version I'm thinking of.
In Scrooge, one of the ghosts is a woman, yes.
Christmas Carol movie. I mean, here's one with George C. Scott. There's one with Jim Carrey. I think that's that weird CG one.
Yeah, that is the newest one.
Isn't 1938? Isn't there? Yeah, isn't this like a classic one?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, that's Vince. Gerald Briscoe could be Jacob Marley.
Okay, so here we go. The youthful ghost of Christmas past.
Okay.
And then there's the merry ghost of Christmas present. And then there's the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Appears as, I remember this, appears as a silent cloaked figure.
Yeah. It's the Reaper, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bray could be ghost of Christmas future.
Okay, sure.
Christmas past.
Youthful. Liv Morgan.
Good. Christmas present.
Some sort of youthful. No, wait. Christmas present is the Mary. Yeah, Mary.
Because I think in Scrooge, it's Buster
How about
Poindexter.
this?
Remember him?
Yeah, of course I remember. Who doesn't know Buster Poindexter? What was the name of his the something dolls, right? New York, was it the
Yeah, New York Dolls.
New York Dolls, right? How about this? I got it. Some people have mentioned this as well. Christmas future is the Undertaker. Okay,
yeah, that's good.
The Christmas present is Firefly Bray.
Okay, that's good.
And then past is Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Who's the boy? Isn't there like a little boy? There's like,
yeah.
What's his name? What's that kid's name?
I don't know why it's escaping me right now.
Timmy? Little Timmy?
Yeah, Tim sounds right.
Little Timmy.
Because he's the son of the dude who works for Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah. Who plays that? Nicholas?
Mm-hmm. And I guess John Cone would have to be his dad, yeah.
John Cone.
John Cone is his dad.
Braun would be his dad. Let's see here. Broken sound wave. All right, without us actually doing the math, who's got better going in Raw math, The Miz or MJF? It's got to be The Miz, right?
Yeah,
because he's got
Miz
legacy.
Beats him on legacy and kayfabe because he's won a ton of titles.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do something. What's the math on wrestlers going into a match type for the first time versus an opponent that knows that kind of match very well?
Oh, good question.
I feel like if it's a face who hasn't been in that match. Well, I mean, earlier this year, that's how Randy won Hell in the Cell.
Yeah.
It was a match type Drew hadn't done.
Yeah.
Now he's entering the same situation as AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Having gone through all that with Randy at Hell in a Cell, he's going to beat AJ here.
So experience is 1-0 in this very limited sample set.
Yeah, but it's about to be 1-1.
I'm sorry
Solus
for the,
asks,
go ahead. You go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is a very quick answer. Dog authority figure. I enjoyed Joseph Park the few weeks we saw him with AJ. How would you use him as an on-screen character? As AJ's manager.
Yeah. He was really good.
He was really good, and they have chemistry.
Solus is the attempt to try and make Miz and Morrison less bumbling coming too late.
Yes.
Is there a believable cash-in attempt you could both get behind? Actually, the one I mentioned, the TLC. That way he doesn't have to do any moves. Just cash in and climb the ladder.
Dude, that's
the most believable one.
That's not 100% not happening either. That's a distinct possibility. I mean, it's a great way to finally get this damn cash in to happen. And then you could do Drew versus The Miz at the Rumble. Drew wins it back there.
Yeah.
I mean, if Drew's thing is, I need to learn how to keep it, maybe he does have to lose it a couple times to learn how to keep it.
Could be. White Brownie, how would you book the road to Io versus Asuka Mania without Io winning the Rumble and without Asuka losing her title?
Have Io do the same thing Kevin Owens did with when he showed up on Raw. Just have her come out, attack, and say, "This is the real women's title that matters in this company." Well, let's find out at WrestleMania.
Yep, there you go. Nicholas Grosskirth says I could also see them saving the Charlotte return for the Rumble.
Yeah, totally. I could totally see that's probably more likely. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Twitch chat, stick around. We'll answer some more of your questions. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Join us tomorrow for our Impact live stream at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.